everybody. Waklisi.
My name is Mike Ball. I'm the only Ball. I'm the heartbreaker of the sheet shakers. I'm the boss of all kings and the jack of all the trades. There'll be times when you can't make it, so you might as well step aside and let the old pro take it. I danced across the waters and never did get wet. I fought the U.S. Army, and I still ain't dead yet. I'm living on Bad Street. The farther down you go, the better it gets. I live in the last motherfucking house.
My name is Natalie Ball. Natalie Ball. I am Natalie Ball. I just want to thank you for being here and for the opportunity to speak. I'm a citizen of the Klamath Tribes. We are a treaty tribe with 3 tribes under 1 treaty, the Modoc, Klamath, and Numu from northern Cali to southern Oregon. We're a people who survived genocide and continue to survive its nuances. We've been in a constant state of emergence, and our land is in constant catastrophe. So I can come here today to talk to you about ecocide, ecological collapse and restoration, big ag, our endemic fish relatives in the 1988 endangered species listing, missing and murdered indigenous people, but missing data, allotment act, land grabs, land back, privatize and trust land, government-to-government consultation with a big C or a little c, controlled burns, wildfires, mismanagement of federal lands, sovereignty, self-determination, and blood politics, the Klamath Basin water war, water rights, water calls, water diversion, our 1856 treaty I can tell you about, the 1872 Modoc War I could tell you about, 1956 termination by an act of Congress, 1986 restoration when our tribe was restored, food insecurity, housing instability, and disappearing of first foods. And I can tell you all the ways that I believe that art and tourism and my seat on tribal council could help. But I feel like I don't have anything to give right now. I feel heartbroken from the silence in the art world. But I do see you out there. I do see you who are using your voice, and I war hoop for you. Yee! And I appreciate you. But I do feel sad as we bear witness to our relatives experiencing genocide. And I'm terrified of what my children are inheriting at home. So I'm here as a mama who chose to raise their kids on the homelands. I realize that this is my biggest flex. It's my most powerful and creative response to continued U.S. terrorism and catastrophe. Today I give you my dad's rap that he sings when we need reminding to keep going. I give you the recordings of my kids actively falling in love with their homelands. And today I give you conversations that I'm having with my kids as they grow into their inheritance, handed forward by people who are constantly finding ways to exist. And it's hard. My prayer is that when it's their turn to lead, that they can and that they will. I asked my kids if they remember the Boot Lake fire that burned over 400,000 acres of our territory. That's 1/3 of it. They remember, and they compare our land base to over 2 million acres to the sum of that. They know that our rock stacks, altars, pipes that our ancestors left us burned in each wildfire. My kids question where we go for prayer now, and they always question who started the fires. My son's favorite spot to hunt is called Buck Creek, but that caught on fire right before we left. So I traveled here, but before I traveled here, I showed him the newspaper article reporting that our deer population is down by half. I told him that Tribal Council just approved a coloring book about chronic wasting disease, which is also zombie deer, that's coming to our boundaries. So my kids know that they'll have to get their meat tested, but they don't want to eat zombie meat. The Klamath River is now free, and all dams are removed, Copco 1, Copco 2, Iron Gate, and J.C. Boyle dams. I remind my kids that dam removal on the Klamath River started with our women. I remind them that we are at the head of the river, where the Ambo comes from the earth and is still drinkable. This is where we've been calling our fish home for over 107 years. The salmon are on their way home, and we will be back in relationship with them as our fish relatives and their culture carriers. These relatives, our Chwam and our Koptu, are also at home, and they've been fighting extinction for 36 years now. And I told my kids that I had to admit to them that I'm unsure if our salmon can survive our sick waterways if the Chwam and Koptu are on the brink of extinction. But I always tell them to go to the Chwam ceremony because at this ceremony, it's for them, and we sacrifice the Trom. But it's here also that our ancestors have told us that if they survive, then we will survive. But if they don't survive, we won't survive. Damn, that's tough. So I just want to tell you today that our ceremonies are tried and true, and I believe in spiritual law. I remind myself that the Modoc War was fought mostly by women and children, and we had ceremony then. I remind myself in an old song that we carry, Muklux Kako Lai Lai, and it's dance with bones around your neck, and it bounces off of your chest, and that sound of the dead bones hitting your live bones, it creates a specific sound to remind us that our bones are not dead yet, and that we have to keep going. So I wish you well, I wish you safety, and free Palestine.